Alright, welcome back to the Super Coach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review week 10 of the NFL season and looking at the Sportsdeck Dream Team. So it was always going to be a tough week, particularly for us, but for a lot of teams, given that the Eagles, the Chiefs and the Dolphins all on bye. Three of the more high octane offenses in the league. But as you can see, we scored 403, which was not even in the top 50% for the week. The average score at 492. So we obviously missed a couple of tricks there. But our season rank has dropped back down outside the top 100. I think about where it was 2 weeks ago. But given the outs we had this week, it was probably going to be expected. So if we have a look at the team, Josh Allen with the 32 as captain probably wasn't the smartest pick or the best pick. We've been getting 40s, 50s out of him pretty consistent, so that was just unlucky. Will Levis was obviously just filling in this week with a 13. Jalen Hurts on bye, so we couldn't play him. Christian McCaffrey, so the first game in 17 that he hasn't scored a touchdown, but still got 34 points. They were basically trying to get him over the goal line there at the end, but couldn't quite make it happen. Austin Eckler with the 38, so in such a high scoring game, would have hoped for a bit more, but we'll take 38. Saquon with the 13. The Jets haven't done very well against the Cowboys this year, so it's probably to be expected. And Jonathan Taylor with a 27, so he got a touchdown. I think it was the only touchdown for that game, so well done to JT, but he's on the bye this week. Our wide receivers, so CeeDee Lamb, the obvious star, with 67. They're just they find the Giants too easy, the Cowboys. So it might have been a sneaky sort of captaincy play, knowing that, but didn't think about it at the time. Jamar Chase, I know there was a bit of a whisper that he mightn't play this week, but he did, and he did well. Diggs was disappointing as well with only a 9. Jordan Addison was 17. He's probably peaked in price. Along with Zay Flowers, I'd suggest there at 19. And Jameson Williams, he's not doing much, but which was surprising given the high scoring game. Even Laporta with a 12. I don't think there was a lot of passing touchdowns. It was all Gibbs and Montgomery as far as I can remember. Musgrave with the 14, so he's been pretty serviceable in the 2 weeks we've had to play him. Obviously Kelsey on the bye, as well as AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill. So you put these 4 big hitters in the side where we're getting 500 points pretty easy, I think. The Aubrey, the Dallas kicker, wasn't the right pick this week, but that's okay. And the Cowboys' defense wasn't as strong as I'd predicted, but they still outscored the Bears, so that's okay. So I guess actually before we get into next week, we'll get into the games, all the break evens, that sort of deal. So let's go back to week 10. And so I obviously got pumped in the Supercoach Nuffs League by Wacko Jacko. Well done, mate. 555, that's a massive score. Be interesting to see what that was ranked for the week. Because looking at these scores, I don't know if 490 was the actual average. So Demario Douglas, I think that's been a good pickup. See, so he's played 9 weeks now. So I guess you're not getting him bottom dollar, but decent cheapie. Every time do this, it goes back. I need to stop clicking on it. Hawkinson 49, that's awesome for your tight end. Travis Keenan Allen, yeah, I think he might be one we try to get this week. He might be out of our price range. Amon-Ra St. Brown, another great option at wide receiver, did well. Bijan Robinson, I think pretty sure he got a touchdown and that sort of deal as well, so he's finally paying off, which is nice. And I guess, had CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Josh Allen as captain, so there was potential for more from Wacko Jacko, but you can see there he pretty much man to man, he'd covered me. Maybe Eckler outscored ETN, but other than that, I couldn't compete too much with that. Yeah, Jordan Love as second quarterback was nice as well this week. I guess let's have a quick look at the others. So dropping dimes did the job against the bin chickens, who, as discussed previously, I think have given up. Um, yeah, Captain Justin Herbert, that was a good call against that in that high scoring game. Austin Hecklers, let's see what they did. Yeah, they had Justin Herbert as well, which is nice. Timmy's caddy. So I guess out of the people that look like they're still playing, I got the lowest this week, which is a bit flat. But feel like I'm doing pretty well still in that head to head. Did have a bit of a buffer there at the top. Nothing too much stands out there. Mike Evans scored pretty well. Nice. Might just have a quick glance through the matches, see if there's anything of note. Foreman scored okay, top scored in that low scoring game. Yeah, another low scoring game there. So the Colts defense, they've been pretty good actually this year from memory. No massive standouts there in that game. Nothing, yeah, nothing jumps out. Oh, actually, Keaton Mitchell, he's been a popular cheapie, but what did he go up 2 mil? So if you brought him in, well done. Banking that cash. Back to week 10. Houston, so CJ Stroud would have done alright, 39, continuing his good form. Singletary, I know he's popular on the waivers. Noah Brown, is he? No, he's not cheap at all. Got to go back to week 10. Cincinnati, Houston, we looked at. San Francisco, too good. Purdy in the defense doing the job. Kittle was a good tight end option. Nice. Vikings, Saints. Olave was pretty solid, which is good. Josh Dobbs with a few more weapons around him, he looks actually sneaky pot option if you're that way inclined. What do we got? Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Can't imagine too much here. Got Jalen Warren in my draft league. Pretty happy with that pickup. Didn't play him though, so not happy about that. Mike Evans, top scored, we already saw. Mayfield and White doing all right. Kyle Murray back. Yeah, I got him in my redraft league, so pretty happy with that return. Trey McBride as well as a tight end if you got on that train. It's a pretty good pickup. Yeah, so some big scores here. So Gibbs with 49, Montgomery 35. So there was a lot of points there. And I guess on the other side, Johnston, Guyton doing well also. Dallas, so Prescott with a 77. So if you have Prescott, that's awesome. Brandon Cooks with 55. I reckon he'd be pretty cheap. Oh, 8.5, probably not the cheapest going around. But doing the job. Jake Ferguson, did okay if you got him. Washington, Seattle. So Brian Robinson, top scorer there with 48. The quarterback's doing well though. The kicker, so if you had the Seattle kicker, I think that was the top pick this week. Jets, Vegas, low scoring game. Not much to report there. There you go. I didn't even actually see this game. It's been a hectic week with work. But Denver doing the business over Buffalo. It's a bit of a shock. Javonte Williams scoring well. Too bad we don't select him. All right, cool. So if you have a look at the break evens for this week, top of the pile. So the Colts defense, they are on a bye. So I guess one next week if you wanted to trade out of say the Cowboys defense or something like that. I've got to check when their buy is. Actually, I think that's come and gone from memory, so probably not worth it for me. Keaton Mitchell still, if you didn't get on last week, he's gone up 2 mil, but still has a fair bit of money to make, and the scoring looks pretty consistent. Tommy DeVito, if you're looking for a cheap quarterback, he's not going to score a lot of points, but might fill in for a week if needed. Tank Dell, 7 mil made this year. He's always going to be a bit up and down depending on Houston, but could be a good get on. CJ Stroud was obviously the cheaper we wanted to get on, but no point dwelling on that. Okay, nothing else particularly. Singletary, if you think he can continue that form, might be worth a look at 7 mil. Um, Kyle Phillips, he's been talked about as a bit of a target with Levis. So I guess if you're looking for a downgrade, we could go something like that. Could even go with someone like Guyton. His first game, so you can wait another week and see. After that, Ty Chandler, so might have a bit of a role there at the Vikings at the moment. Might be, a good time to get on him. Douglas on the bye this week, but seems to be one of the main targets there at Patriots at the moment, so it could be worth a look. Devonta Smith with a negative break in. So if you are looking for a cheap, keeper type option, I think Devonta Smith could be a sneaky get for the rest of the year. But then after that, starting to get into the positives. Can't see anything that's too attention grabbing there. What about, I guess, at the other end of the scale, people we want to trade out of? So Mahomes, Kelsey, Allen. I guess they're all the same because they're all on the bye. I know we talked about them last week. Cooper Cup, I think, was on the bye also. So might be one we can, wait another week, see how he goes. Um, Jefferson, I think he's due back this week, so it might be worthwhile keeping a lookout on what they're doing with Jefferson. Particularly now it looks like, Dobbs is a decent option at QB. Um, I guess the likes of Adam Thielen would be a trade target, I think. Like he is inclined to have a spike game as that wide receiver one there. Wouldn't have thought so against Dallas though. Kamara on the bye, if you got him, might be a good time to cash out, perhaps. ETN potentially peaking in price. Could keep him if you wanted to. Montgomery's still high break even despite 35, so you can wait on him. Saquon's a bit, going to lose some value, but at the same time, he's really all the Giants have got. So I might stick fat with him. And I guess nothing too much else to report there. So looking at my team for this week, so it looks like Keenan Allen at 14.9 mil, and with the Chargers, Mike Williams being out injured, Josh Palmer still injured, they're really just targeting Allen. So I do like that pick. Do like Amon-Ra as well as the wide receiver, and I guess I'm focusing on wide receivers because we're pretty well set across the rest of the positions. Our quarterbacks are set and forget. The running backs, we've traded for these players in particular. We've got Ford and hopefully Williams should be back soon too. I need to track how he's going, but I guess we might be able to extract some value there if need be. Brown and Hill are back in, so Hill. So is it Addison or Flowers? So what was Allen 14.9? So we're just out of reach of doing that in a single trade. Addison to Allen would have been a mint. So what's Mitchell? 4 5 mil, 50, so then 20 mil. Could do something like Williams and Addison for Mitchell and Allen, perhaps. We'll get Travis Kelsey back in the team as well. What are the matchups this week? Dallas against Carolina. San Fran against Tampa. Maybe we'll go with Moody just to mix it up. Yeah, so like I guess we're very happy with these five. It's just who do we put in at number six? We could go with Cooper Cup nice and early, lock that down if we think he's gonna regain form now that Stafford potentially back this week. I think that's one we can wait a week on. What's Addison's break even? 49 there, so he's going to lose more money. Really want to avoid that if we can. Might have to have a look into the status of Kyron Williams and see where he's at. Let's just go it for the time being. So Williams out, break even. Yeah, so there's no one else really. Rico Dowdle perhaps is a super cheap option, or Ty Chandler. So I guess we could stretch the budget a bit further if we did that. And then what was Allen again? Last 14.9. Oh, I was gonna say if we can get rid of Jameson Williams, play Keenan Allen, but that's so close. Cancel. Uh, yeah, so I guess like the original thought was Addison and Flowers, up and down. So up to Allen, down to someone. But who can we afford? Maybe the likes of Guyton, Douglas, perhaps. The other option is we take the sort of haircut and go with Devonta Smith, and then when we got 11.7. So who's in that sort of range? Williams is out for the season. Murray Cooper. So I guess there's no real superstars in this kind of range. Tyler Lockett went alright on the weekend. Yeah, it'd just be taking a bit of a punt, I think, on someone. Debo, I think that's decent value for Debo Samuel. Does that allow us to do anything interesting? Is there someone higher up than Devonta we could get? Not really. Mike Evans. No. Cooper Cup's just out of reach at that point. Bother. Well, I guess if we're going to do that, we might as well keep Zay Flowers. Well, we could then, you could upgrade something like this. Where is he again? Devonta Smith. Like, I mean, yeah, upgrading Williams and Addison to Debo and Devonta Smith. Don't hate it. I guess the other options, like, pretty sure he is still injured, but what price is T Higgins? 8.4. Yeah, it's another sort of option. We've got Chase ready. I know we've got AJ Brown, but we've got Hurts as well. So anytime these guys are doing well, Jalen Hurts is doing well also, I suppose. Yeah, and I mean, if any of these guys are out, like Stephon Diggs will have a bye, could play Smith or even Flowers, I suppose, quite comfortably. I guess this is the other thing too is if we do these two trades, we've got four trades left. You know, they're going to be pretty much injury cover. You know, this will be our finished squad, so that's why we are looking at trying to find some potential value. Um, Means we will miss out on Allen Cup, but I think we can live with that. I do like the Debo pick actually. Just not 100% convinced on Devonta Smith. Let's clear that. Let's have a look at players we can afford. So Chris Olave on the bye this week. Probably the wide receiver one option. So it does make sense. I know we've traded him out previously, but if it's for a season hold, I think we can live with that as, wide receiver seven. Deontay Johnson, not really feeling it. I know he was my sort of pod pick at the start of the year, and I do have him in my redraft league, but he hasn't been convincing. Noah Brown's pretty hyped up, but there seems to be three gun wide receivers there at Houston for if you count Robert Woods, and yeah, can't really pick who's going to get fed there. Devonta Smith, so he's averaging 21, so he is up there in terms of averages, which is good. Chris Godwin, probably behind Mike Evans there. Drake London doesn't have a good quarterback. Josh Downs is interesting, but averaging 17, so I think I would prefer Devonta. Gabe Davis has been an absolute punish for me this year in the redraft league, so I would like to avoid that. Devonte Adams at 8.2 mil. That's sad. What's his stats? Break even 19. So I think it's about as cheap as it's going to get. What's his draw like? He's got Miami, Kansas City, the next two. Bye. Plays Kansas City again. Marquise Brown. So didn't do much last week, even though he's back with Kyler Murray. Hmm. Yeah, so I guess like I was really keen on Devontae Adams, but probably the week 13 bye sort of doesn't blend well with Diggs, which is when he'd probably come in. Um, T. Higgins, not sure when he's back. They do have a full complement of games. Wait, what is the Eagles draw like? That's one's played. So we've got Kansas City this week, and then Buffalo, San Fran, Dallas. Whoa, tough run there. Seattle and the Giants in the last two in the last three, and Arizona. So it might be the sneaky late season pod that we're chasing. Negative break even. All right, we're locking it in. Devonta Smith. People just watching it go and just pick one already. So yeah, we might leave him on the bench this week, given the matchup against Kansas City. It should be an absolute corker. Yeah, so Buffalo against the Jets, solid defense as well. So I reckon we might back a shootout this week. Put the C on Jalen, VC on Allen. We can always run the loophole potentially. Don't know what. We'd never pick a player to use in the loophole, but that's fine. Oh, Jonathan Taylor on buy. I don't know if we can use it. Maybe or no. It could be in this game, doesn't it? So we'll bring Ford in, just have a look and see what's going on with Kyron Williams. Um, yeah, so the big five plus Debo, yeah, comfortable with that. Yeah, San Fran was playing Tampa this week. It's okay matchup. Baltimore against the Bengals. So yeah, Flowers can bench 2 guys there. All right, lock it in. So this is basically, I guess, the finished squad for the year. Even though we are only halfway through the season, 4 trades to go. It'll be for injury cover, I suppose, that sort of thing. If we can conserve trades over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe it's 2 trades to go in and out of Allen. For when he's on bye round 13. So yeah, round 13 bye, so we don't have to play Levis would be ideal. But again, it all depends what happens over the next couple of weeks before we get to that. So, yeah, but just looking at this squad, it is pretty nice. If you offered me this at the start of the year, I would have absolutely taken it. So, pretty happy with that. And yeah, so we'll wrap the video up there. Um, as always, if you've got any thoughts, questions, comments about the team, your team, NFL in general, feel free to add it below this video. If you are enjoying the NFL content, remember give us a like. Subscribe to the channel for all the fantasy content, whether it's FPL, NBL, BBL's coming. And other than that, we'll hit the outro.